Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So this is probably one of the most important videos I think I've shared in a while, or will be, should be. This is on a topic of action and manifestation, something that some of us avoid talking about, the combination of action and, logically or in your mind, imagining the thing that you want to bring into reality and how those two go together. And I'm also going to mention in this video the idea of every manifestation having its appointed hour. This is something that Neville talks about, and I want to talk about what that actually means and how this relates to something that I've talked about in my videos, which is planting seeds in the mind. And if you've seen my little video mini class below, it's basically where I talk about, I call it the quantum seed method. And this is how I was able to manifest things into my life without force, because that is the number one thing that people get confused by. They think that doing more, taking more action, like doing more is what's going to bring them their manifestation. But the truth is, it's actually less usually. And it's in a way that you don't have to feel like you're forcing something or making something happen. So I'm going to talk about what this really means. So again, I know this is kind of like in the manifestation community, a lot of people want to say like, you don't need action to manifest what you want. You don't need to take any action. But the truth is, in my own life, one thing that I will say is that action is the thing that finally started to make everything change. And I'm not talking though about like, you don't need to freak out and be like, oh my gosh, I have to do all this stuff, then what's the point of manifestation? That's not what I'm talking about at all. When I talk about action, I'm talking about the teeniest little actions, the smallest little things you can do. Because essentially, when it comes to manifestation, this is what I've learned about it, is that when you first have the intention of something within your mind, it's like initially planting that seed. You're planting the seed into your mind of something that you would like to grow. So when you first have the intention, it's just the seed. It hasn't yet unfolded, it hasn't yet grown roots. And so first you have to let it grow inside of you. So when you have the initial idea, sometimes you will want to immediately act on it. Sometimes you'll want to immediately do something. Versus other times you'll just have the idea and be like, oh, I'd really like that. But you don't really know what action to take. You don't really know where to start. And in that case, what that means is that the seed still needs time to grow underground before it can surface. And it's not that you're doing something wrong by not knowing what action to take, not knowing what to do to get to your goal. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just that the seed is just there saying like hello for the first time, but it's going to now need time to grow inside of you. And this is for like your bigger visions or things that you really, really want in your life. Think of it like a child almost, and you have the seed of the child inside you, and now that child needs to grow in a warm, safe place until it can finally come to the surface and come into this world. Because think of like your inner mind as like this womb for the things you want to grow. I don't care what gender you are, anything like that, just whoever you are, we all have this ability. It's like inside of yourself is like this dark place where you can plant your seeds and then they can grow safely within you. And then when they're ready, they will rise up to the mind, and then you will know what to do or what to take action on. And so it's not that you need to force the perfect action to get something to happen. It's that you have to allow things to rise naturally. And what it means by like everything has its appointed hour, is that the things that you want to manifest in your life, they will know when to come to the surface. Like they will rise in you when it's time, when they are ready. Think of them almost like living, breathing things. They know when they're ready to surface, but if you try to force it to the surface before it's ready, before it's grown enough roots inside of you, then it's almost like forcing a bird to fly when it doesn't have its wings yet. You're like, okay, bird, fly the nest, fly, just do what you're supposed to do. And the bird's like, but I don't know how to fly yet. And you're like, well, just do it. And then when it falls on the ground, you're like, why'd you fall, bird? And it's like the bird wasn't ready to leave the nest yet. It still needed time, right? And so that's what happens inside of us, is that we get frustrated thinking it's our fault that something can't immediately work in our lives, or that we don't know what to do with it immediately. And the truth is that it was never about more force. If you try to force something that isn't ready to surface yet, a manifestation, anything, if you affirm, doesn't matter how many times you do it. If it's not ready to come to the surface, it won't. Like, that's just the truth, and that's something that I've learned. I don't care what anyone says in this video, if there's a limiting belief or not. This is just the truth about, like, my entire experience of manifestation, everything that I've seen in other people. And it's just that thing, like, you will feel a sense of contraction if something is not ready. This is my way of, like, being able to tell. If you're trying to do a task that you think is, like, the right thing to do, or the right move to make, or it's something a coach told you to do, or whatever, if you do it and you're feeling contraction, you're feeling frustrated, angry, upset, your emotions are going off like crazy, that's usually like your body giving you like this warning sign of like, hey, I'm not ready for this. This isn't the time. It's not the time right now. And if you keep trying to force it, you're not going to get anywhere. It's like hitting a wall, and you'll just keep hitting that wall again and again and again, because it's just not the time. And so you have to trust that. The contraction that you feel is literally the seed shrinking. It's like it's going back into its small form because it's getting scared. It's like, I'm not ready. I can't do this right now. Like, blah, blah, blah. So, and then you also start to go through that phase of spiraling. You're literally spiraling back into like a small seed again, right? This is why people talk about spiraling. If you feel like you're spiraling on something, or something's making you feel crazy, like, for example, I've been trying to build this. I wanted to create a course for you guys, honestly, like something that I really cared about. But every time I would go to create it, I would literally feel insane. I was like, I don't know why this is causing me so much anxiety. And I realized it was because I was trying to force myself into this tiny little structure, and it just didn't feel right. Something about it just didn't feel right. It didn't feel right to feel like the right move to me. And this is where trusting your intuition comes in. Like, if something is feeling like it is draining you or taking more from you, then stop doing it. Take space, even walk away from it for a while, because sometimes all you need is space. Because if you also think about it, things need space to grow. If you want something to grow many roots and grow far and wide, if you want something to be sustainable and long lasting in your life, it needs time. It needs space, right? It can't just grow in this teeny little space that it's being forced into. And that's what was happening with me. I was trying to force this massive vision that I have for my future into this tiny little thing, and my body was like rejecting it. Like, no, this isn't it. Like, we need more space to grow. We need more time to grow. We need more freedom. And then eventually, like, we will surface, kind of thing, right? Like, so think of it like this. This takes so much pressure off of you, because now you know that, like, everything that you plant inside of you, it will know when to rise up in you. So, like, you will take the actions you're meant to take when it's time. This is why I say things I manifested in my life at first felt like they were never happening. They didn't happen when I wanted them to immediately happen. I was like frustrated. I was like, why am I not doing the things that I know I should be able to do? And this is where society is so wrong on this concept of forcing people to do things and being like, it's their fault when they can't immediately do it, and like the world's time schedule. But it's because each of us have our own flow. We have a schedule that's actually built inside of us, a flow that's being created inside of us that takes into account not just the current task we're supposed to get done, but takes into account the entire picture of our lives and formulates a path for us that is the best possible path for everything that we ever intended for. And so it's this massive picture inside of us that we can't see. And so when it tells us it's not time for something, you have to trust that. Trust the path, trust the flow, because the best way to have your life start to move quicker and things start to unfold for you is literally to stay in the flow, to stay in the expanded state, to feel like you are expanding into whatever you're creating, right? If you're feeling like you're expanding, then you're growing roots, then you're growing bigger, like something is actually happening. If you feel like you're contracting, then that means that you're forcing something that's not ready yet to come to the surface, okay? So another example too is like these tasks that you know you have to get done, but for some reason you're like, I don't know why I can't get it done. Like, what is wrong with me? Why can't I get this task done? Why can't I do this thing I know I'm supposed to do? And that's because you're trying to force it when it's not yet ready. There's something that needs to happen before that thing, like, or it needs more time and space to be able to expand inside of you. Like, I promise you, this is the truth, because I tried to force things for so long and nothing was happening. And then I just, instead of trying to force the things I really wanted to happen, what I finally did was I took the little things that I felt like I could do and I started to do those things. So my tip to you is to do the actions or take take the actions of the things that are already bubbling up inside of you, because those are the things you're meant to do that day. Take action on the thing basically right in front of you, rather than trying to reach ahead and do all these things that like you think you must do. Just do the thing that feels like it's doable today. Even if it's random, even if it doesn't really make sense. Like for me, it was like making random YouTube videos about random topics sometimes. Or it could be, like I say in all my videos, picking a sock up off the floor, like washing one dish. Like if it feels like it's something that's doable inside of you, then trust that, because it's almost like, again, like your inner self has its own timeline. And so if something feels like it's doable, it means that it's near the surface. So you want to do the things that are already bubbling up at the surface. And for example, the same thing goes for like me recording videos and stuff. I can't record a video on an idea that I'm not fully invested in yet. Like if it's just a rough idea of something, I might give it some time to sort of grow within me. And then eventually when I feel like, oh, I really, really want to share this, that's when I share it. You know, at the peak of the wave, that's when you share it, right? That's when you share whatever you want to share. You take action on whatever you want to take action on, because you feel it. You feel the desire to. But if it's not there, if it feels very cold, I like to think of it like hot and cold. If something feels very cold, like there's not much motivation behind it, I don't really feel any desire to do it. Like it's almost like it's further down in your inner what did I call it? Like schedule or something. Think of it like it's lower down, so it means it's not quite time yet for it. But if something feels hot, if it feels like, ooh, like I really want to take an action on this, or like I could probably do this today, like this would be pretty easy if I wanted to get it done, like take action on those things. And then once you start taking action on those things, it's like then the next thing will bubble up behind it. So sometimes it's the simplest actions that then lead you to the bigger things in your life. So don't try and jump ahead to something that doesn't feel ready yet. Let those things grow while you do the small things first, because there's often a reason that you're meant to do the smaller things before the bigger things, you know? And there's a reason that you're meant to go through things in a certain way so that you can become the best version of yourself and be ready for those bigger things, right? It's almost like everything's connected. So you do the small things, and then in doing the small things, you end up becoming the person you need to become to do the bigger thing, right? So actions, little actions are so much more powerful than you know. Take action on the tiny things you can do today. Like even if they don't make sense, even if they're random, just trust the things that are bubbling up inside of you. Like less force, more just listening to yourself and what feels right for that day. And it can even be that you do put a little bit of motivation behind something. Like even if it's a task that feels like just slightly ahead of you, like, that might be a little bit challenging for me, but like maybe I could do that today. Like even if it's just a slight jump, you can do that. It's like taking a small leap forward. So it might be a little bit more of a jump for you, but you know you could get it done today. Like say like cleaning out a certain part of your house. Like, you know, you've been kind of putting it off and like, I don't really want to do that, but like, I think I'm capable of doing that. Like you could do that as well. But in the beginning, if you're feeling really stuck, like start small. And anyways, I just like this, I strongly believe, like more than anything in the world, that this is the key to manifestation, is that things will root inside of you. They will take their time and they will rise up, just like in Kundalini awakening, or like the serpent rising up the spine. The feeling will come up inside of you and it will reach the mind, and the thought will come into your head, and it will be right there bubbling up when it's time for it to come into play. But in the meantime, all you do is you plant the seeds in your mind. You can water them by, like occasionally looking at them, viewing them in your head, whatever you want to do. Think of that like your inner mind is like your inner safe space for these things. And so as soon as you pull something out of the mind, you've pulled it into physical reality. And that is where it can be judged and ridiculed. That's the way that I see it. When it's in the mind, it's fluid. It's more soft in the mind, but then when you bring it into physical reality, it's like it hardens it. It's almost like putting it on the cross, if you think of Jesus in the Bible. As soon as you bring an intention or thought into physical reality, it's now like it can be judged by things around it, by people around you. If you speak it out to people, it's like you put it out there to be just on display. And now it's like, this is why it's so important to allow it to build a root system inside of you, to learn inside of you. So that when it does come out, it's ready. Like it's ready for, you could say battle. It's ready for this physical world. Like, just like a child. Once again, a child needs to grow inside the mother before it can come to being born into this world. Like, it needs to become a full-grown child before it can come into this world. And that's the same with your ideas inside of you. You have to give them time to grow and trust that the universe, your higher self, sees the zoomed out version of your life and knows the best time for that thing to come into your life. So you don't need to force it. Stop trying to force things to happen in your time schedule, because in doing so, like, you're honestly just going to frustrate yourself more than anything. Like, no matter what, it probably is going to happen at the same time it was meant to happen either way, but you're just going to feel like you need to do more effort and put more effort in just to make it happen, and just frustrate yourself more in the process that's unnecessary. This is why I used to say in my other videos too, people that robotic affirm like 10,000 times a day or something. That is so unnecessary. I have manifested things with like a small intention, one intention, and then let it grow inside of me. Like, you know, you don't need 1,000 affirmations, because it's just the time when that idea finally becomes ready that it comes to the surface. Everything else is just fluff. Everything else is just extra, okay? And so this is just a way to finally make your life easy again, and realize that you don't need to worry about being the one to be like, oh, I gotta do this today, must do it. Like, this is the way the world has kind of got us designed, is to think that like we have to be so motivated and so driven, just do things even when you don't want to. But like, honestly, there's an easier way to live, and it's through flow. It's through trusting the inner schedule that goes up and down, that goes all over the place, that doesn't make sense to the outside eyes. Like, you know, it's not logical all the time, but it's the best path for you. Like, it is a path that's perfectly designed for you in mind. You know, it goes against oftentimes what the outer world wants you to do, and even what your brain logically thinks you should be doing. So trust in this inner path, and start doing the little things that bubble up inside of you. The fun stuff, the stuff that, you know, like small tasks, you know, you could get done today, even if it's so minor and so little. Imagine like the entire universe exists inside each thing. So whatever you're doing, like, you know, it's your whole self that you're driving forward in that small movement or that small thing that you do. Like, you're making a massive change, bigger than you know, just by doing that small, tiny little thing. Okay? Anyways, I hope this is helpful. This is something that I needed to hear, so I hope that it helps you as well. And again, I cannot stress this enough. Like, this is ultimately like my strong belief that this is the key to manifestation, is planting the seed, letting it root and rise when it's meant to, and then acting on it when it's at the surface, when it's time for it to be acted on. But ultimately, in the meantime, you can view it, you can think about it, you can trust that it's coming, that it's growing inside of you, whatever way you want to see it. And, you know, it will. One day it will surface. If you continue to just gently water it, trust in it, it will come. Okay? And again, I have my little video below if you want to understand more about what I'm talking about in terms of planting seeds. I know someone commented on my last video saying like that I didn't explain the concept enough in the video, and that I'm trying to charge for something, and I'm like, I only have one thing that I charge for, minus my teeny little $5 ebook, and it's an $11 course. Not even a course, why do I keep calling that? It's a video, it's one video basically, that explains things in detail with my little notepad. And, you know, I give away so much free content, and in this video I really tried to explain the concept basically for free, but if you want a more detailed breakdown with notes and a little sheet as well, then that's in the little video below if you do want to support my channel. And I greatly appreciate anyone who does, and everyone who has purchased it. Thank you guys, because it means more to me than you know. And again, I would never sell you something that I didn't personally use or believe in, and I hope you know that, because I spent hours trying to think of the things that I want to share with you guys. Anyways, thank you again.